Knows. Hello, Wisconsin!
Now, filling in for the new mom, here's Jane Matinaire.
Good morning and welcome to As Goes Wisconsin, Friday, September 29th. Greg Bach is on the board. My good friend, radio legend, Carol Kane is here.
Yes, I am.
We're on the We're Not Dead Yet tour, Carol and
Well, maybe 1 foot's in.
1 foot's in, but
One
we're
foot
still
maybe
here.
in, yeah.
We got lots of stuff coming up on today's show. But first, we have...
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
My fingers went all crazy on me. Baby watch news.
Baby Watch News.
We have breaking water news.
Oh! Breaking water news. She's here.
She is here.
The little one is here. Kristen is mom. Kristen. Mike is now dad. Samson. We got the news yesterday afternoon.
Right.
And we've seen some pictures.
Congratulations.
And she is perfect and adorable.
And so is the baby.
And
see
yes,
what I did there?
Yes. And everybody's doing fine. And the plan is that Kristen will join us live at 11:50. So
Mhm.
last break of the show, Kristen's going to join us on the phone and check in and let us know how everybody is doing. Greg and I know the name. We know her name. We're not going to tell you.
Yeah, I asked and you wouldn't tell me either.
No,
so
you're going to have to wait.
Okay.
You're going to have to wait. However, we do have special bumper music picked out for the entire show.
Okay.
So the songs might be the artist who's singing, might be the title of the song.
So this is a game we're going to play for the next 2 hours, trying to figure out who her name is?
What her name is. These are your hints. These will be there are hints contained in the bumper music
Yep.
that you will hear throughout the course of the show. And if you want to make a guess, you can always text us at 844-967-2789. There's no prize or anything, just bragging rights involved if you figure it out. But we're not going to do the reveal until Kristen joins us at 11:50.
The only reveal that we have is that the knowledge that her life has changed completely.
Absolutely. Forever. And the pictures that she shared with us were just
adorable.
So cute.
Right. Adorable.
She's got a great head of hair, just like mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have more details later on.
Yeah.
So stick around for that.
Okay. You sound like a proud grandma.
I feel like a proud grandma when she texted us yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
I literally got all weepy.
She sent a message. She goes, "Are my messages going through?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? No,
we don't know." So then she had to retext.
Yep.
A couple pictures.
Okay.
And very, very exciting. So we will get to more of that later on in the show. To kick things off, however, we are going to start. Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge the loss of Dianne Feinstein.
Yes.
I do think she had a remarkable life and she had a remarkable career. She became California's first female senator and went on to serve 6 terms, the longest of any woman in Senate history. And her political career was forever changed by the assassination of 2 of her colleagues. Dianne Feinstein, gone at the age of 90.
Well, I mean, it was a life well lived, obviously.
Absolutely.
A life of service completely. You gotta give high props to somebody who's willing to do that for the better part of their adult life. But in recent days, it was difficult. Yeah,
it was difficult. And I think what's unfortunate is that because that memory is so fresh, it's easy to forget all the other things that she accomplished and the trailblazer that she was.
Right.
Because as you said, the last couple of years, obviously, it was obvious she was in decline.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember the other things that she did, because she really did accomplish some pretty astonishing things.
Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt. And it's something that, I always say things like that. It's like it's a calling, because it's not a job to them. It's a calling. And I don't care which side of the fence you're on. If you've got somebody who has dedicated their entire life to a life of service for the people of the United States, that is a calling, period. End of story. So,
and I also think, at least if you're a senator, I've heard the perks are pretty good too.
Oh, without a doubt.
Just the healthcare
I
alone.
know, right?
Yeah,
Anyway,
without a doubt.
Anyway, rest in peace, Dianne Feinstein.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Moving on.
Okay.
This jumped out at me for several different reasons. So the question is, Tay-Tay, is she a nay or a yay for democracy? And we're talking about Taylor Swift, who last week on voter registration day, Taylor Swift texted out to her, I believe it's 336 million
she's pretty popular.
followers on social media.
Right.
To promote voter registration day. And so 35,000 people actually signed up to vote.
Okay.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a start. Considering she has over 300 million followers, but it's a good place to start.
Without a doubt. I mean, and in all honesty, for somebody, she's young. She's very young. Obviously, she
33.
hit it really big when she was really
a teenager.
Young.
Yeah.
So the fact that because there's so many people that are out there that don't give a rat's anymore, and they don't want to vote, and it's just like it's nice to have somebody be proactive enough to try and get young people out there to vote.
Yes. For sure.
I've always been a huge proponent with my children of, making sure that they know how important it is to vote. I think I've made it very clear to you too that I don't even know how they vote. I don't ask them. It's none of my business.
Just so they vote.
Just so they vote.
Yes.
And I don't know, I don't care who you vote for. Once you get into that poll and I don't even ask Lou anymore. We don't even talk about it. It's just like, just do it. Do it. Right.
Well, so the fact that she got 35,000 people to sign up to vote prompted a couple of different articles in some very different publications. Will Bunch is a columnist for the Philadelphia Inquirer. And here is the headline: Can Taylor Swift save U.S. democracy if Joe Biden can't? Here's an idea for 2024. And essentially, Will Bunch suggests that other celebrities with the status of a Taylor Swift should do the same thing in encouraging their followers to get involved in the political process, which I don't think is a bad idea, but I also think that they have. We've had a lot of celebrities.
We have a lot of celebrities that are participatory when it comes to that kind of thing, as long as they don't start pushing
their agenda.
Yes.
It's just about get
out
to vote and then get out there to vote.
Right. I don't want to hear anything one side of the fence or the other as to how you think I should vote. Keep that to yourself. Once again, I will vote my conscience. I will vet my candidates. I will do everything I possibly can to make the best possible decision that I think I can. But yeah, I just don't want you telling me who to vote for.
Right.
Just tell me to go and vote
and get involved in the process.
Right.
So on the one hand, we have Will Bunch with the Philadelphia Inquirer, who says this is great. Go for it. More celebrities should do this. On the other side, at the Federalist, columnist Mark Hemingway, his headline says, Taylor Swift's popularity is a sign of societal decline. Dun, dun, dun. Taylor Swift is a sign of the impending apocalypse.
Oh, pump the brakes, dude. Come on.
He doesn't like her lyrics, Carol.
Well, okay, fine. So you don't like her music.
I don't know that her music is necessarily aimed at him.
Listen, let me just say this. I am not, I know this goes against many people's opinion. She's not my cup of tea. She's not for me. I'm Methuselah at this particular point. I could be her grandmother.
Right.
So I come from the classic rock era, and that's the kind of stuff that I listen to. But I see her concerts and they're packed. I saw Aaron Rodgers shaking his booty. He was out there having fun with Taylor Swift. So apparently, I just shut up.
He stands by the fact it's a mistake to read too much in the way of politics or feminism into the appeal of Taylor Swift. But given her popularity, it's a chicken or egg proposition about whether the cultural avatar of millennial females is famous for being near constantly romantically aggrieved. Even TikTok is full of videos of women insisting, no, really, it's great being 29 and unmarried and childless. I don't want that at all. I get to sleep in on the weekends and learn how to make
What's he talking about?
sashimi. Again,
This is rambling.
I know. Taylor Swift is the sign of the impending apocalypse and societal decline.
Oh, then we're gonna have so much fun.
I know, right? Shake it off. 844-967-2789, 844-96-PARTY. Jake from Milwaukee is joining us. Good morning, Jake. What's going on?
Hi, Jake.
Hey, yeah, I would love to call more, but I'm usually, working. But there's I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but Taylor Swift, and I'm not a big fan of her music, but she's seems like a pretty cool person, has been idolized by the right, especially neo-Nazis and others, as the perfect Aryan woman.
Oh.
And if you go and you look back into some of that, they really liked her as that, but she obviously doesn't at all, because she's not. And I have a feeling that some of this, and it's good for her, she wants millennials to get out because she is sick of this. She is sick of that kind of politics and racism. And this is just my opinion, but in order to do that, she needs, in her legacy, she needs to stamp those people down, and they are beginning to dislike her more and more.
Oh, for sure. And then they're afraid of her influence too, right, Jake?
Exactly. She's a woman. She does, she's stuff. So, I think, she's becoming.
Jake, we're coming up on we're right up against
now.
the wall with a break here. Thank you so much for calling, Tom. I see you on the line. Don't hang up. 844-967-2789. We'll come back with this after the break. This is As Goes Wisconsin. You are listening to the Civic Media Radio Network.
Had to leave your house to start a business. Companies used to pay programmers bags of cash to get online. Now, small businesses can get online with a Facebook business page, or Squarespace, or Google My Business, or WordPress. But which tools should you use? Can you afford to go down the wrong path? Design Garden uses modern tools to build your website the right way. Find us online at design.garden. Again, that's design.garden.
Uh-oh, did a rock hit your windshield from that semi? Don't worry, Autoglass Now offers fast, reliable, and convenient service. For a limited time only, Autoglass Now is offering 50% off windshield replacement. Call your local Autoglass Now today for full details.
Radio keeps your community informed, entertained, and connected. It's what we're all about at the Civic Media Network of local radio stations.
We're having fun and moving fast to preserve hometown radio across Wisconsin. This includes a commitment to news. Now we want to invite you to join Civic Media's exclusive Facebook group, Wisconsin Breaking News. It's a place to share your community's news and chat with others from across the state about it.
Join the Facebook group Wisconsin Breaking News today. It's the perfect companion to your local Civic Media radio station.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it.
When your kid can't find the language, find the lyrics. Start a conversation at soundedouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Here's your updated forecast on the Shaw. A mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 72. Southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Lows level off around 56 tonight. A blend of clouds and sun tomorrow, highs around 80. Temps above average Sunday and Monday with highs from the upper 70s to the low 80s. For Civic Media, I'm meteorologist Derek Height. Currently, it's 63 degrees.
Whether you're heading down Les Paul Parkway or fighting traffic on the interstates, this is The Shaw, 540 AM and 101.1 FM.
Out of the tree of life, I just picked me a plum. You came along and everything started into hum. Still, it's a real good bet. The best is yet to come.
Welcome back to As Goes Wisconsin. Jane Metnair in for Kristen Bry. Carol Kane is my co-host today. We have Greg Bach on the board. And just to remind you, the little one is here. She arrived yesterday afternoon. All morning long as we go in and out of breaks. The music that you hear are giving you clues as to our new baby's name.
Do we know the size of this young lady?
We don't have a lot of details yet.
Okay.
But Kristen's going to join us at 11:50. We'll do the big reveal.
Okay.
If you have an idea of what her name is, you can always text it to us at 844-967-2789.
Okay.
We're not going to reveal it, though, until the end. And this is just for bragging rights. There's no fabulous prize involved.
Yeah, there's nothing.
All right. We're talking right now about can Taylor Swift save democracy? On the one hand, you have Will Bunch from the Philadelphia Inquirer, who thinks her involvement in politics is great. On the other hand, you have this guy from the Federalist, who basically says she is the sign of the impending apocalypse. So, where do you come down on this? I just think it's hilarious. 844-967-2789. Tom is on the line. Thank you so much, Tom.
Hi,
How
Tom.
you doing? Go ahead, Tom.
Love Jake as a call. First off, I love Jake as a caller. When he calls in from Milwaukee, he's always great. And second, we the people means government, and that's something that the conservatives do not understand. They want it to be I, rather than we, and us. Taylor Swift has a song actually for the guy from the Federalist. It's called "You Need to Calm Down," and that seems to be something he needs to do. He needs to chill out. Taylor Swift, they're going to really, really be upset when they find out that Taylor Swift is actually calls herself and is a Christian. They're going to hate that part because she actually follows what Christ actually did, which was help the poor and the sick and, all of those different things that are in the Beatitudes. They're also going to hate the fact that, she is a strong, competent, successful woman, which for some reason they want women all to be like in, and if anyone hasn't seen it, go watch The Handmaid's Tale. That's the world that the people on the right and the fascist regime would love to see. They would love to see women bowing down to their men and not having a voice of any kind. And if they get educated, take out their tongues, all these different things. I mean, we think that might be hyperbolic, but it's not. These people are exactly what they show, and we should really, really be watching and paying attention and follow someone like Taylor Swift, who's really just about positive and love. And she would say that they need to calm down.
Thank you so much, Tom. Really appreciate it. 844-967-2789. You can call and or text. Texter from the 541, are these celebrities like Taylor Swift encouraging people to vet their candidates before they vote? That I don't know. And I don't believe she's telling people how to vote.
I don't think so.
She's just telling them to get involved in the process
right.
Of voting. Which again, she got 35,000 people to sign up last week during voter registration day, which is pretty great.
Right. I have not seen any indication that she's telling people how to vote. Now, the far right, the fact that they are kind of backing her doesn't surprise me at all, just because of the fact of her country roots when she started.
Sure.
That they have a tendency to be more conservative when it comes to that musical genre. But she's now since kind of, morphed into the pop world and that kind of a thing.
Right.
But so it doesn't surprise me that there are people that gravitate towards her for that. But I don't think she's done anything to encourage it. Doesn't seem to me. I mean, every time I see her, she's accepting an award. She's one of the most accomplished female singers I have ever encountered.
Good heavens, Taylor Swift has affected the global economy.
Oh,
along with Beyonce,
right.
with these huge tours that they just did. I mean, they have had remarkable economic ramifications,
Right,
because they're so successful.
Right, exactly. So
which is pretty great.
I mean, so if you want to read some, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Can we stop reading into this crap? Why do we have to have this all, we have to read into what she's doing when all she's doing is saying, go vote. Why do we have to project all of this crap one way or the other?
Because it sells. Because it sells. And that's like angertainment.
We're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
That's gets the attention this dude wants.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to say his name again, so we're done with that.
Okay.
And we do have one more text from the 262, and this is a guess for little Bry Sampson's name. The obvious choice in my mind is Marjorie Taylor Bry.
Oh, you are banned from the show.
Ouch. I can guarantee you it is not that.
That's not it.
It is not that. All right. We're coming up to the break. We're going to take a look at the news. After the break, it is going to be the best, the worst, and the laughable of the week. And just a reminder as well, all the musical bumps in and out today are giving you clues as to the name of our newest civic media member. The little girl arrived yesterday afternoon. So if you want to take a guess, 844-967-2789. Greg Bach, Carol Kane, Jane Matnair. We will be back. You're listening to As Goes Wisconsin. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Wait till you're locked in my embrace. Wait till I draw you near. Wait till you see that sunshine place. Ain't nothing like it here. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? The best is yet to come the day you're mine. Come the day you're mine, and you're gonna be mine.
Broadcasting to Waukesha at 101.1 FM. Broadcasting to Southeast Wisconsin at 540 AM. This is The Shaw, WAUK.
CBS News special report. United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain has just begun speaking. We are expecting him to make the announcement that the union is expanding its 2-week-old strike against the Big Three. We're following another major story as well. We got word this morning, 90-year-old Senator Dianne Feinstein has died. CBS's Linda Kenyon has reaction just in from the White House.
In a statement, the president says Dianne Feinstein was a powerful voice for American values, which he saw firsthand by serving with her in the U.S. Senate for more than 15 years. He said she made her mark on everything from national security to the environment to protecting civil liberties. Mr. Biden also says she was a role model for so many Americans, and as she was often the only woman in the room, she had an immense impact on younger women.
Feinstein, the longest serving woman in the U.S. Senate, a piece of black fabric covers her seat today, a vase of white roses on her desk. CBS News special report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Missed your favorite show? It's easy to find it wherever you listen to podcasts. Apple, Google, or civicmedia.us.
With news on WAUK The Shaw, I'm Stuart J. Waddles. 4 police officers fatally shot a 36-year-old suspect during a domestic disturbance call in West Allis yesterday. The incident started when the officers encountered an armed man who had 2 knives. Despite multiple commands to drop him, the man didn't comply, resulting in gunfire. 5 officers have been placed on administrative leave, and the investigation is being led by the Milwaukee Area Investigative Team. It got heated this week during a meeting about Milwaukee's Holt Avenue Park and Ride. Nate Wegehoft has more.
The discussion was about the presence of people living in the parking lot. Neighbors say it's a nuisance, and county outreach teams say they are actively seeking housing solutions for those impacted. The meeting also highlighted financial constraints and a lack of landlords willing to rent to individuals with complex needs.
With news on WAUK The Shaw, I'm Stuart J. Waddles.
Up North News Radio with Pat Kreitlow.
On Friday, it was Sam's first day flying solo because Aaron said he was going bear hunting. Aaron's not here this morning, so it's either Aaron doesn't need to be here or Aaron's been eaten by a bear.
Gosh, I'd sure hope that Aaron hasn't been eaten by a bear.
Well, he's not there. Now I'm just afraid that if we ring up his phone, somewhere out there, Mrs. Bear is going to elbow Mr. Bear and go, is your tummy rumbling?
Up North News Radio with Pat Kreitlow. Weekday mornings 6 till 8 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Devil's Advocates Radio Show.
Do you support the legalization, regulation, and taxation of legal cannabis in the state of Wisconsin? You said yes, Melissa. That was like 12 years ago. What do you think the hang-up is?
It's the Republicans. They're suffering from reefer madness. They're out-of-touch legislators in the Capitol building who don't want to give a win to Governor Evers and Democrats.
The Devil's Advocates Radio Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 until 6 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. Under the helmet with the gravedigger, Gilbert Brown.
Jordan Love was 15 for 27 for 245 yards and 3 TDs against a JV team.
Oh, my God. I mean, I don't like Chicago, but I ain't going to call them a JV team. They suck, but it's a slap in his face. I'm laughing at y'all Bear fans.
I know, man.
Under the Helmet with the Gravedigger with Gilbert Brown and Earl Ingram. Monday mornings at 8 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
We've all felt left out. And for people who move to this country, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back to As Goes Wisconsin. Jane Matnier in for Kristen Bry. I am joined by my friend and longtime colleague Carol Kane, and Greg Bach is on the board. 844-967-2789. Anytime you want to call and check in. Just a reminder, we're going to be talking to Kristen. The baby is here.
Yes.
She arrived yesterday afternoon. So we're going to talk to Kristen coming up at 11:50.
Okay.
And get all the details.
Yeah.
We don't know. We saw a picture. We know
Right.
she has lots of hair, but we don't know how long, how tall she is.
Right.
How much she weighed. So we'll get all those details coming up at 11:50 all morning long as we bump in and out of the breaks. There's a musical hint as to what the little girl's name is.
Right. So
And
we
you
just
can-
heard the theme from The Godfather.
We did. So if you have an idea, if you want to take a guess,
I got nothing.
844, good, because I don't want 844-967-2789. We're not going to reveal until Kristen joins us at 11:50, and there's no prize involved.
Okay.
It's just bragging rights.
I just want to hear about the whole, because I'm going to tell you the story about my daughter's birth, because it's an epic fail on the part of my husband. Epic fail. So my daughter Elizabeth is 34 years old, and I still cannot forget this. So here's what happens. I go into labor. Lou drives me down to the hospital, and he said, I'll make this as short as possible. He says, okay, it's going to be a while. Doc's like, it's going to be a while. So Lou goes, okay, I'm going to go home and take care of Elsa T. Washington. That was our dog. He said, and I will be right back. Liar.
Uh-oh.
Anyhow, so what happens is, this is before the advent of cell phones. You have to understand this. So the doctor comes in, and Liz has flipped, and he's like, we have to do an emergency C-section.
Oh, no.
We have to do an emergency C-section. So he said, get a hold of your husband. So I'm calling the house and calling the house and calling the house. No answer, no answer, no answer. So I finally said to the nurse, I go, here's the name of a woman. I get her down here because I'm not doing this by myself, right? So my girlfriend Barb takes a cab down to the hospital. I'm still looking for Lou, and they finally just said, we can't wait any longer. We got to go.
Oh, no.
So they strap you down for an emergency C-section. And all of a sudden the doctor comes in and he goes, he's here. I don't know where he's been, but he's got flowers. So then they put the sheet up because it's a C-section.
Right.
So he comes around, his eyes are like saucers. He comes around and he's standing next to my head, and he said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late. I looked at him, I go, Have you been drinking?
He went out for a couple of drinks.
He was walking through the neighborhood, walking the dog, poured himself a cocktail. Hey, we're having a baby. Hey, we're having a baby.
Oh, no.
And then, it gets better. So then they take Elizabeth, they get her out. He goes around by the doctor, and he's like a major league catcher. He's standing there, and all of a sudden he peeks over the corner, and he goes, "This is amazing, Carol. Your uterus is completely on the left side of your body." And I looked at him and I said, "If you can't put it back, step away from the doctor."
Oh, that's hilarious, Carol.
So So it started out, the first birth was really epic. And I just looked at him, I go, "You were walking around the neighborhood with a cocktail?" Well, I thought we had time.
As one does.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we'll find out what happened with Kristen and get all the details of the little one's arrival when she joins us at 11:50.
Excellent.
That is our best story of the week.
We have a couple of guesses that came through.
Okay.
From the 541. The name Delilah Jane Bray Sampson.
Delilah Jane.
I mean, that's a very beautiful name, but that is not the winner.
No, it is not.
No, it
Yeah,
is
but
not.
sometimes names have power, and I'm not really sure Delilah would be a great one. I'm not saying Delilah's a bad name, but there are some different connotations to the name Delilah.
You mean biblical?
Well, she didn't have a great reputation. Let's put it that way.
Well,
poor Delilah. Wow. Okay.
I can't get Tom Jones out of my head either.
Well, and that's exactly what I thought of. Yes. All right. Well, we will be taking your guesses all morning. If you get it right, we're not going to share it until Kristen joins us at 11:50. But we would love to know what you think.
And CJ texted in Melody Marie, which is a very pretty name.
That is a very pretty name.
But it is not correct.
That is not correct.
Hey, buddy, what was the second one? Melody what?
Marie.
Melody Marie.
Eminem?
I mean, sure.
Huh.
Not it.
No.
Not it.
Okay. So that is the baby news. The worst news of the week, at least what we all agreed on this morning, was last night's game between the Packers
Oh my
and
God,
the Lions.
was that horrible?
Did you watch the whole thing?
I did. It was painful. I couldn't. That whole first half was just such you want to talk epic fail. They just couldn't get any connection whatsoever. I didn't watch the whole thing because I got disgusted and I shut it off in the fourth quarter. So this morning when I woke up, I'm like, did they rally at all? Because they were behind, like, Greg, wasn't it 27-3 at the half?
It was 27-3. Yeah, they were getting pummeled at the outset. I mean,
Just spanked.
Wow.
I mean, I loved watching Jordan Love. When he ran in for the touchdown, I saw that. He was able to get around and he made it into the end zone. But I was surprised they even put 20 points on the board with the way they were playing. Their offense needs some work. Let's put it that way. And you could tell.
So is it the O-line? Is it the offensive line?
The coach at the post game, he said, we have got to change some stuff when it comes to the offense. We got to tweak this big. You could see he was visibly PO'd.
Really?
Visibly, yeah. He was mad.
Well, and especially since they did pretty well on Sunday. I mean, they were down in a big hole and then managed to bring that back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but the Lions have really bulked up, haven't they, Greg? They've really bulked up their line. These are big guys.
I mean, the fact that the Lions are winning is big enough as it is. I mean, and when we talked to JR yesterday, JR Radcliffe, and he said, this Lions team is something to compete with now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For the first time in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. In a
very long time.
Sorry, Detroit, but it has been a long time.
No. It's like being a Browns fan. It's just
the Cleveland Browns.
I know. Isn't that wah. Carol, Debbie Downer. But I mean, no, the Lions, it's almost sad. You feel you got to give them credit for sticking by them.
Absolutely.
If you're a Lions fan, then you've got tenacity. Good for you.
But look at all the years that the Packers were terrible. I mean, There were decades of awful.
Yeah, the Lindy Infante years.
Oh, yeah.
That was bad.
Oh, yeah. There were, I mean, the 70s and 80s until they got Favre were just excruciating.
Right.
And you stick with your team.
Right. You're right. I mean, that's just, yeah, the Lindy Infante years was just embarrassing. And I came from being a Packers fan, and I was with the Badgers when I went to Madison. They stunk when I was there. So it was just like, can I get a break anywhere? So when Favre came along,
changed everything.
Yeah.
It really did. And now again, and what we've talked about this, I believe you and I off the air. Well, we're spoiled now because we had
no doubt
that great run with Favre. We had the great run with Aaron Rodgers.
Right, no doubt.
And it's just, well, we should always win. Well, yeah, it doesn't work like that.
But this poor kid, he's been sitting in the wings for so long. It's very early. Give the guy a chance.
Oh, for sure.
And I think, people say that he's, not great in the locker room. I don't know that. I don't know that at all. But I will tell you this, for a kid of his age, he is poised and I think very professional when he stands in front of those cameras.
I agree. I agree. His whole demeanor is calm and chill.
Right.
And confident.
Right. Well, there's a reason he's there. He's got some skill.
Yeah.
We just have to, I mean, it's early, Jane. My God.
I know.
Come
they're
on.
so impatient.
Well, yeah.
I want it now.
Yeah. Football fans, like with the basketball fans, they understand how to build teams. And they're like, all right, like this whole thing with Dame Lillard, like they're like, all right, here we go. Baseball teams, we're always in a rebuilding. But football fans are like, you mean we don't have a Super Bowl right now?
Yeah.
Why don't we have a ring right now?
Well, because when you've got baseball and the NBA, the seasons are so long and there's a lot of time for you to be able to cultivate and get to where you need to be.
Right.
And I think that's part of the reason. Don't you think, Greg? That's why we are kind of a little impatient because the season's 16 games?
Yeah. It goes quickly.
Yeah.
It does compared to, like you said, basketball and the baseball season, which baseball is like 927 games. Kidding, it's not.
It's not all. And listen, congrats to the Brewers. Honestly, let's focus on something great too.
For sure. And I know Greg was a little upset because the Packers news and certainly the Bucks news kind of dominated the last couple of days, and then the poor Brewers aren't getting any love for having clinched the division. So that's pretty great. 844-967-2789, 844-96-PARTY. Gary from Sussex. Good morning, Gary. How you doing?
Gary, where'd you go there, big shooter?
What?
Go ahead. Good morning, Gary.
Oh, yeah. I have a name for Kristen's baby, Emma Jean.
Emma Jean.
Is that Emma Jean? Yeah.
Oh, Imogene.
That's
like IMO.
No, not Emma.
Emma Jean. That's a very beautiful name, but
it's not it, Gary.
Okay, well that's fine.
Good guess.
I do want to talk about the Packers.
Okay.
Now, obviously, Jordan Love, we got to stand behind him. We're going to have some bad years, and we all knew it. Look at what we had two quarterbacks in a period of 24 years. Chicago had 24 quarterbacks in 24 years. Okay, so how we always end up getting these great quarterbacks is because we stand behind them, even though that they play bad. And he's going to play bad, but he's going to learn how to play. And like you said, he's got a great disposition about his poise. And when he can sit there and look at the cameras and talk calmly, that's great. We all get calm. Now, we need an offensive line to protect him because it was ridiculous how he got plummeted yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got sacked 5 times, didn't he?
Yeah, it was really sad. And the one in the end zone when they kind of grabbed him like a horse collar and he got rid of the ball, I thought that was going to be a safety right there. And he ended up throwing it to one of our tight ends, I think, got it. But it looked bad. But we stand behind them, and we're going to be good. We're going to have 3 quarterbacks in a period of 35 years.
That's not too bad. Yeah, right. We're
got to stand behind them.
Yep. Thank you so much, Gary. Really appreciate it. 844-967-2789. That's 844-96-party. I know we have to do this really quickly. The best and the worst and the laughable, I'm just going to say it. The GOP impeachment hearing yesterday was hilarious.
Oh my God.
It was hilarious.
What a something show. I mean, the thing is that they went up there like, we're going to do this.
We're going to prove.
Here it comes. And yeah. And then there are 4 people who were like, yeah, there's not this.
Their own witnesses, the Republicans' own witnesses basically said, yeah, there's not enough there for impeachment. Nah. It was
they haven't made a really good showing lately, have they? I mean, I literally, let's go back even to the debate. I was like, what are we watching?
Oh, that was a mess. That debate was a mess. And those moderators,
terrible,
did a terrible job. All right. We are going to move on. We have our news quiz of the week. Carol versus Greg.
Oh, boy.
That's on the way. Stay right here. You're listening to As Goes Wisconsin. We are on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Discover the secret to a healthier you at Lake County Botanics. Vape Walkie specializes in top quality hemp products from CBD to Delta 8, all curated just for you. You'll find Delta 8, Delta 10, THCA, and more legal hemp compounds in disposable vapes, cartridges, edibles, and more. Isolates, broad spectrum, or full spectrum CBD, they've got it all. They even have products for your furry friend. Open Monday to Saturday, 11 to 7, and Sundays from 11 to 5. Mention this ad to get a free gummy at 215 Oakton Avenue, Suite C in Pewaukee, LakeCountyBotanics.com.
Weather brought to you by the town of Brookfield's 3rd annual Brooktoberfest, September 30th from 11 until 6 at Steffen Soccer. Enjoy live music, local food vendors, best dress competition, wiener dog races, a kids zone, a classic car show, and more. Log on discoverbrookfield.com. Prost.
The Green Bay Packers call Lambeau Field home, but did you know the stadium has a history all its own? It started with where to build it. Residents on both sides of the city wanted it. Officials argued there had to be room for growth. Eventually, farmland was purchased, but in Ashwaubenon, the bargaining continued, and in 1956, the land was annexed to Green Bay. Green Bay City Stadium became a reality the following year and was renamed in honor of team co-founder and coach Curly Lambeau in 1965. For Civic Media, I'm Terry Ball. Did you know your favorite shows and hosts are active on social media too? Find Civic Media on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook and be part of the conversation happening there. And go to our website, civicmedia.us, to learn more about the Civic Media Network.
Here's your updated forecast on the Shaw. A mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with a high of 72. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, lows around 56. A mix of clouds and sun again tomorrow, high of 80. Dry with temps a bit above average Sunday and Monday, and highs from the upper 70s to the low 80s. For Civic Media, I'm meteorologist Eric Height. Currently, it's 63 degrees.
Your home for the Devil's Advocates. Weekday afternoons from 4 until 6 on The Shaw, 540 AM and 101.1 FM.
Sorry now. Who's sorry now? Whose heart is aching for breaking each vow? Who's sad?
Welcome back to As Goes Wisconsin. Jane Matnair in for new mom Kristen Bry. I am joined by Greg Bach on the board. My good friend and colleague Carol Kane is the Friday co-host, and you're going to be with me
every Friday
until Kristen gets back.
Right, every Friday through the end of the year.
And as we told you when we started the show, we're going to talk to Kristen about an hour from now. She will join us on the phone to check in since the little one came yesterday afternoon. Not telling you her name just yet, but we have been giving you hints with the bumper music in and out of the breaks. And Greg Bach, we have 2 winners already, don't we?
We have 2 winners, folks. We had Tom from LA. You got it. And Lynn from Oconomowoc. You got it as well.
Well done. No guesses.
So here we go. Yeah, just no guesses.
No guesses?
No guesses.
No. I'm just I can't see Kristen being like what's the word? Pedestrian. I see her being kind of creative with a name,
as opposed to something like Anne, which is a lovely name. Don't get me wrong.
Oh man,
did I just tick off all the Anns? Now?
All the Anns are mad.
Anns are going to hate me now. No, but it's a more common name. So is Jane.
Yeah.
So Carol. No, you don't hear Carol anymore. Nobody names their kid Carol.
Give it 15 years.
It'll come back. You're probably right.
So yeah, Tom and Lynn,
they get bragging rights. Well
Very
done.
Nice.
Bravo.
Very nice.
And we will do the big reveal again in about an hour when Kristen joins us via telephone. Right now, though, we are going to do our weekly news quiz. And today, Carol is facing off against Greg. And because Carol is our guest, you get to choose whether or not you would like to go first.
Sure. What the hell?
You're going to go first?
Yeah, why not?
All right, here we go. Greg Buck. Question number 1. Melbourne University in Australia announced the first ever international academic symposium on the impact of which pop star? Is it A, Beyonce, B, Rihanna, C, Taylor Swift, or D, Madonna?
Oh, heck. I'll do Beyonce.
Beyonce? No, that is not it. Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Taylor Swift.
Well,
Beyonce was a good guess too.
They're all right up there. And I would have never even discounted Madonna because what she did, she changed the face of pop.
Yeah, she did. She really did.
Yeah.
No, Taylor Swift, the first ever academic symposium on the impact of Taylor Swift. So sign up, Melbourne University, starting in next year, I believe. All right, Greg, over to you.
Yeah.
Which Wisconsin sports team made a big trade this week? Was it A, the Bucks, B, the Brewers, C, the Packers, D, the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders?
Oh, you couldn't have given me that one?
As much as I love them Dock Spiders, I got to go with the Bucks.
You are correct. It was the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, Damian Lillard.
Mm-hmm.
And goodbye, Giroux.
Goodbye, Giroux. Well, we hardly knew you.
We hardly knew you. All right. Greg's up 1-0. Carol, number 3. Yeah. NASA spacecraft recently dropped a capsule full of samples collected from an asteroid recently. What is the name of the spacecraft's next destination? So this is the next asteroid.
Are you kidding me? You give him the
It's multiple choice.
You give him
Work with me. A, Osiris. B, Dimorphos. C, Apophis. Or D, Clem. Asteroid Clem.
I'll do the first one.
The first one is Osiris. Unfortunately, no. It is Apophis.
Yeah, I'm an asteroid.
I'm really not liking you today.
My name is Clem. I'm an asteroid. I am 25 years old, and I'm here to partake.
All right, Greg Bach, number 4.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're still up 1-0. Wisconsin Representative Tom Tiffany recently expressing his grave concerns about which issue that is affecting Wisconsinites. Is it A, a lack of affordable child care, B, a lack of affordable housing, C, gun violence, or D, keeping chocolate milk in schools?
That's a hard one.
I know.
I have to go with the hard work he's doing to make sure those kids have chocolate milk. That's what he's doing right now in Washington.
That is right.
We're paying that bill.
That's right. It's about the chocolate milk, Greg.
Yep.
Don't worry about that other stuff. It'll take care of itself. All right, Carol, 5. Question number 5.
I don't want to play anymore.
It'll go quick. During the Republican presidential debate this week, which candidate referred to the former president as Donald Duck? Was it A, Nikki Haley, B, Vivek Ramaswamy, C, Chris Christie, or D, Ron, no normal human being smiles like this DeSantis?
Number 2.
Vivek Ramaswamy?
Yeah.
No, it was Chris Christie. Sorry.
You know, mic drop. I'm out. I swear to God.
We're almost done. Number 6, Greg.
Yeah.
Which birds not native to Wisconsin have recently been seen in the state?
You are kidding me.
Is it A, the long-wattled umbrella bird, The B, the kakapo.
Ooh.
C, flamingos. Or D, a shoe bill.
It's my favorite hotel in Las Vegas. It's my favorite bird in Wisconsin. It's the flamingo,
It is
baby.
the flamingo. All right, this is a tiebreaker, although there's really no tie. Greg kind of smoked you.
Sorry,
3-0.
Carol.
I'll give you this one.
Well, she lobbed you the easy ones.
It just is the way they lined up. It's just the way they got put together last night. Here's the last one. You can do
Had
this.
you picked me first, you'd have wiped the floor with me. That's the choice.
That's the choice. All right, you'll get this one.
Okay. Yeah.
Actor David McCallum died this week at the age of 90.
Yes.
What was the name of the 1960s TV spy show that he starred in? Was it A, I Spy, B, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., C, Get Smart, or D, The Avengers?
He was the dude that played Dumbledore, right?
No. David McCallum, Scottish actor. He was on NCIS, but he was on a spy show in the 60s. Was it I Spy?
I Spy.
No. You never watched The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
No.
With Robert Vaughn?
No.
And David McCallum?
No.
Ilya Kuryakin?
I feel like
No.
nope. I think it was all no's, Jane. All no's.
All right. Well done, Greg Bach.
Yeah, sure. Congratulations.
Sorry, my friend Carol Kane.
Pat yourself on the back there, dude.
All right.
I am. I usually lose.
Coming up next hour, Dr. Mike fixes your life. Kristen's longtime friend, best friend, Dr. Michael McCutcheon, is joining us at 11:06 to talk about relationships and life things and all kinds of things. If you ever have a question, a lifestyle question, a life coach kind of question, you can always text it in at 844-967-2789, 844-96-PARTY. We have the news coming up at the top of the hour. We will be back. I hope you will stay with us. This is As Goes Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're sorry now.
It's time for Oktoberfest in La Crosse, September 28th through the 30th. 3 days featuring German food and beers, wine races, barrel rolling, and the best in live music, polka bands. Celebrate the friendliest fest in the Midwest. Oktoberfest in La Crosse, Thursday through Saturday, September 28th to the 30th at the Oktoberfest grounds. Find more information at oktoberfestusa.com. For Civic Media, I'm Terry Barr. You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
You're listening to The Shaw, WAUK 540 AM Jackson, W266DR Waukesha, and always streaming on the Civic Media app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. An emotional day in the U.S. Senate as lawmakers learn of the death of California's Dianne Feinstein, the longest-serving woman in U.S. history. In the Senate, Democratic leader Chuck Schumer.
Today, there are 25 women serving in this chamber, and every one of them will admit they stand on Diane's shoulders. We look at that desk, and we know what we have lost. But we also give thanks. Thanks to someone so rarefied, so brave, so graceful a presence, that someone like that served in this chamber for so many years.
Feinstein first elected to the Senate in 1992. She was 90 years old. CBS's Scott McFarlane on Capitol Hill.
She was a uniquely vocal advocate for Democratic priorities. She was a lion in the U.S. Senate, and her absence is being noted by both parties. And it's critical, I think, for some people to want to remember her for all those accomplishments and not for the frailty she showed over the past year, which was noticeable.
Feinstein was San Francisco's first female mayor. In Washington, in her first Senate term, she wrote the 1994 assault weapons ban. Breaking news from Detroit, the United Auto Workers Union is now expanding its 2-week-long strike.
I am calling on an additional 7,000 members across Ford and GM to go on strike starting at noon Eastern today.
UAW Chief Sean Fain says Stellantis is spared in this widening on the walkout because of bargaining table progress. Prior to today, 38 facilities in 20 states have been affected by the job action against the Big Three. Congress is careening toward a possible government shutdown this weekend. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is weighing the likely impact.
High oil prices have caused prices at the pump to go up. Student loan repayments, they're starting up again. People have less money to spend. Now we have
Hey, Greg, can you hear me?
This could actually put pressure and volatility into the market. It will be a bumpy ride. It also could have a cascading effect in the economy.
The Supreme Court's agreed to decide whether state laws that look to regulate Facebook, TikTok, and other platforms violate the Constitution. It's a review of laws enacted by Republicans in Florida and Texas. There's a drenching rain in many parts of the Northeast today. CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson is following it.
There will be areas that will get 6 or 8 inches of rain in the span of the day, and that is a near certain recipe for flash flooding.
And checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 26 points. The NASDAQ is up 130. This is CBS News.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed, because Indeed's all-in-one hiring solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Looking for more local programming? Check out our website, civicmedia.us, to see our entire lineup.
With news on WAUK The Shaw, I'm Stuart J. Waddles. 4 West Dallas police officers started shooting when a man came at them with knives yesterday. West Dallas Police Chief Patrick Mitchell says it was a domestic incident at 71st and Greenfield yesterday morning.
4 officers total fired. They will be placed on leave.
The Wauwatosa Police Department is leading the investigation into the shooting. Over $10,000 worth of restaurant equipment was stolen from the Estabrook Beer Garden in Milwaukee County. Officials say the theft occurred between Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. The beer garden is currently celebrating Oktoberfest. Despite losing fryers and a refrigerator, the beer garden operator plans to remain open throughout the weekend. Heading into the weekend, AAA has gas prices about the same in Waukesha and Milwaukee counties at $3.35 a gallon, with it being about 20 cents higher in Ozaukee County. With news on WAUK The Shaw, I'm Stuart J. Waddles.
The bakers of Country Hearth and Village Hearth Breads are proud to support local education with Loaves for Learning, the program that makes it easy to earn money for your school. Enjoy Country Hearth and Village Hearth all-natural breads, buns, bagels, and more, then save the UPC from the package for your school to collect and redeem. Each is worth 5 cents and can be used for books, computers, sports, music, whatever your school needs, up to $10,000 a year. Learn more at loavesforlearning.com. Country Hearth and Village Hearth Breads, baking our best for you.
Saturdays and Sundays at 1. Don't miss Under the Helmet with the Gravedigger, featuring legendary Gilbert Brown and Earl Ingram. Football, life, and fun.
Earl, you've been driving a Yugo. They just gave you a brand new Ferrari with turbo boost. So enjoy it, brother.
Under the Helmet with the Gravedigger. Gilbert Brown and Earl Ingram. Saturdays and Sundays at 1 on the Civic Media Network and on the Civic Media app.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Miss our conversations on air? Join the discussion on our social media channels. Find Civic Media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also find social media for specific shows and hosts on our website. Go to civicmedia.us.
From the Civic Media Radio Network, moving Wisconsin forward one joke at a time. This is As Goes Wisconsin with Kristen Bry.
So it goes, so it goes, so it goes, so it goes. Where it's going, no one knows. Hello, Wisconsin!
Now, filling in for the new mom, here's Jane Matinaire.
Welcome to hour 2 of As Goes Wisconsin. And yes, that was accurate. She is a new mom. We are going to talk to her coming up at 11:50.
I can't wait.
Little girl came yesterday afternoon. We're not telling you her name. We're not going to reveal that until Kristen joins us, but we've been giving hints all morning with bumper music as to what the little one's name is. We have quite a few correct guesses already, too, at 844-967-27.
Yeah, a couple of guys, actually.
A couple of guys got it right. A lot of the texters got it right. So well done. We are so excited to have our next guest joining us. It's been a few months, and so we're delighted to have him back. Dr. Michael McCutcheon is going to fix your life. Dr. Mike, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
Hey, I missed you. Good to see y'all. How's everybody doing?
Good. Now you
Happy-
talked to Kristen last night.
I did. She looked great. The baby looked great. Baby was sleeping like a perfect angel.
Of course.
One thing I can report, I hope this is not giving away top secret news. I don't want Kristen to get mad at me, but this is actually good. And I think the entire state of Wisconsin will be very happy to hear this news. The baby has Kristen's nose and not Mike's nose. Thank God. So we're good to go there.
Was there a lot of concern about the nose? That was a big worry.
There was in our friend circle. Yeah, I mean, it's just got that perfect little bride nose, just boop, just a little doop, like a little Disney nose. You know, it's perfect. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Yeah, she was lovely. This perfect little angel girl, and Kristen looks great. And Mike was just we FaceTime. Mike was
is he
glowing.
over the moon?
Yeah, over the moon. Yes, it's glowing. Yeah, it was great. So yeah, I was just so happy to see both of them, and we're thrilled for them.
Absolutely. We are all thrilled. And again, we're going to be talking to Kristen coming up at about 11:50. She's going to do a little check-in with us and let us know how everyone is doing and how the little one is doing. So right now, though, if you ever have a question for Dr. Michael McCutcheon, you can always text us at 844-967-2789. Shoot us an email at asgoeswisconsin@civicmedia.us. Dr. Mike, we're going to start with this one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a 34-year-old woman, and I'm going through a tough time. My boyfriend of 2 years broke up with me 4 months ago, and my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer just a few weeks ago. My ex, who I love, but who is not emotionally mature, has reached out trying to be supportive since my mom's diagnosis. A mutual friend had told him that my mother was ill. I'm so depleted right now, it's hard to push his affection away because it feels so good. But also, I know this is a slippery slope to heartbreak all over again. Should I let my ex be a shoulder to cry on and a familiar bedfellow during these tough times? Or should I keep my distance from him to protect my heart, even if it means going through this all alone?
Well, first of all, I'm so sorry. Mainly sorry to hear about your mother and the diagnosis, and that does sound like a tough time. Just sort of a lot of compounding things all at once. And well, I'm rereading through this now and seeing these things. And I don't know about you, Jane, but for me, a couple of things sort of jump off the page, and I'm not sure for our listeners, sort of, kind of actually buzz your ears. Sort of these affect or emotional words can kind of get you. The things that are getting me here are like these phrases like emotionally immature and slippery slope. They kind of get me. They get the little hairs in the back of my neck start to
Right.
stand up.
Right.
Heartbreak all over again. This is only a paragraph that this person wrote in, and all those things popped up there. in where I'm from, Jane, the word familiar can be a double-edged sword, personally, right?
How do you mean?
Familiar can sort of feel like, oh, my old familiar sweatshirt that I had from college, and it sounds all comfy. But how about the other idea that like, oh no, this feels all too familiar. That kind of tone as well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
This idea of familiar does not always mean, don't be fooled to be thinking that sort of comfortable is where you want to be. And it might sound like a bit of a cliche phrase, but it's cliche for a reason that, the comfort zone is someplace, it can be someplace nice for a day or two, but nothing grows there, Jane, right? So I don't know. I think I would be a little wary about going back to this shoulder to cry on, as I do think that there are some strings attached there.
Yeah.
Whereas I think that going through all of this, quote unquote, alone would be very, very difficult for anybody. Perhaps reaching out. Go ahead.
But like you said, I mean, it sounds like she has other friends and she has some other support.
Yeah.
And when she said he's not emotionally mature.
Right.
So I don't know how much comfort he's really going to be able to provide.
Run.
Yeah. Carol just said run.
Yeah.
And you are setting yourself up to get stomped on again, aren't you?
That's up. Yeah, you really, I mean, this person is kind of, it seems like they're telling us they know who this person is. They know who this man is, who the ex is. And they almost, in a sense, they want us to enable them. Is it okay if I go back to the shoulder to cry on? That's not going to be good for me. Can I have this this cheeseburger that's going to, clog my arteries, even though I know I've got a heart condition. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. I think the thing I would want to say too, and this might be taking it a touch too far for this person, but I would say this to everybody else who's sort of listening and might be thinking about being in a tough time themselves and kind of generalize it. One thing we could think about when we find ourselves in a quote unquote tough time, if we can zoom out for just a second and ask ourselves, maybe we don't have to go through this tough time alone, or we don't have to put ourselves through these situations. If you can think about it, is that you get to. Maybe this is an opportunity that this is an opportunity to be stronger, and that you actually, get to see what you're made of. You get to find out who else can be there for you. You get to find new ways of getting through a tough situation without going back to, like we said, a shoulder with strings attached. And in this case, with a whole lot of baggage, somebody who broke up with you,
right,
left you reeling for the last couple of months, who found out about this situation and came back to you in this, in this state, who, by the way, maybe I'm reading too much into it, who's maybe has some ulterior motives, who's kind of finding you in this vulnerable state.
Yes. Yeah? That's exactly it. And I thought too, he knows you're down. He knows you're low. You need some comforting. What a great way to get back in bed.
Right.
What a great way to get back in your bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For a short period of time.
Right. Yeah.
It sounds pretty harsh, but I would be,
No, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, to tell you the truth, I think the most telling thing is the emotional state, that he's emotionally immature. I don't want to hook up with that. I need somebody who's got the ability to stand next to me and with me. And I'm with you, Jane. I think it's kind of a cheap way to get in with this woman in order to get her back in the sack. There.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah. It's great. I love. Yeah. Bring. Yeah. I think the tough love is actually what somebody in this state actually needs right now. Right. Yeah. This is not one of those situations, I think, where you just take the quick Band-Aid fix and just kind of get yourself, day to day and just kind of get through. Like I said, this is an opportunity for somebody to say, who in my life can I actually, capital C, count on?
Yeah.
And, this guy ain't it. And he showed that to you months ago, right? Has he had a did HGTV come in and give him a complete personality makeover that we're not aware of in the last 90 days that we don't know? Because if that didn't happen, I think you say thank you so much for reaching out, and I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate the well wishes. And if I need something, I'll let you know. And yeah, like you said, reach out to friends, reach out to family, do the things that you know that you need to do. Right, get your sleep. Eat well, spend time with your mother, do all the things that you need to do for yourself, right? But this idea of having, the comfort of a bedfellow, I think you'll be actually comforting him more than he'll be comforting you, is how this is going to turn out in the end.
Absolutely. And I also think, because she said that they have mutual friends, this is a way for him to make himself look like a good guy to the mutual friends.
Jane.
Right?
Yeah. I think you're right about that.
Look, I came forward. I know she's down, so here I am to help her.
Yeah, but you walked away in the first place. I don't want you back. You walked away from me.
You know what Carol Sign would say on her life coach door, Dr. Mike?
Tell me. Yeah, what
it would be run. Am I a little too brutal?
He's so eloquent, and I'm just so blunt. It's like, no. And to tell you the truth, if I was her friend, if I was a female friend of hers, I'd be like, okay, we really got to sit down and talk about this.
You don't want to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what good friends are for, to be honest with you. You'd say that to me.
For sure.
Right,
Dr. Mike? Friends have to share hard truths sometimes. That's what makes you a good friend.
That's what makes you a great friend, right? Is it true or is it not true that people show you who they are the first time, right? So unless this person comes to you and says, let me tell you about how I did you wrong and how I've learned from that, let's start from there, right? And let's have this, but that's not what's happened here, right? This person showed you who he was, and you're coming to us even saying nothing's changed here. I just want a fix of this old thing, right? So let's not walk down the slippery slope knowing exactly what it is. Let's take good care of it. Let's take, at this downtime, at this tough time, actually, let's take exquisite care of ourselves. And that's not what this is.
No, it sure isn't.
I love that term, exquisite care.
Exquisite care. We'll put that on a t-shirt too. Dr. Michael McCutcheon is our resident life relationship career coach who draws on his clinical training in counseling psychology to help improve relationships, set and achieve goals, and just fix our lives overall. So glad to have you back, Dr. Mike. It's wonderful, wonderful to see you. And I'm sure you're gonna be coming by one of these days to see the little ones. So hopefully when the next time you're in Milwaukee, we can get together and coo over her together.
I can't wait. It's
Sounds
good to
great.
see you all.
You too. Thank
Nice
you,
to
Dr.
meet
Mike.
you.
Stay with us. As goes Wisconsin, we have Matt Miller coming up at 11:30. We're going to talk movies.
Okay.
And Hollywood and popcorn. Don't go away. As goes Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is Matt from Design Garden. Remember when the internet was new? Back then, you had to leave your house to start a business. Companies used to pay programmers bags of cash to get online. Now, small businesses can get online with a Facebook business page, or Squarespace, or Google My Business, or WordPress. But which tools should you use? Can you afford to go down the wrong path? Design Garden uses modern tools to build your website the right way. Find us online at design.garden. Again, that's design.garden.
Uh-oh, did a rock hit your windshield from that semi? Don't worry, Autoglass Now offers fast, reliable, and convenient service. For a limited time only, Autoglass Now is offering 50% off windshield replacement. Call your local Autoglass Now today for full details.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Join the conversation with your favorite hosts or shows anytime. Follow Civic Media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Share your thoughts on our social media channels wherever you are, whenever you want. The Civic Media Network of local radio stations, here for you.
Here's your updated forecast on the Shaw. A mix of clouds and sun this afternoon with a high of 72. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, lows around 56. A mix of clouds and sun again tomorrow, high of 80. Dry with temps a bit above average Sunday and Monday, and highs from the upper 70s to the low 80s. For Civic Media, I'm meteorologist Eric Height. Currently, it's 66 degrees.
Keeping Southeast Wisconsin informed, engaged, and entertained. This is The Shaw, 540 AM and 101.1 FM, WAU.
Welcome back to As Goes Wisconsin. Jane Matnair in for Kristen Bry, joined by my co-host for the next several Fridays.
Yeah, we're going to be through the rest of the year, I think, every Friday. Yeah.
The rest of the year. Carol Kane is here, and Greg Bach is on the board. Little girl came yesterday afternoon.
Right.
We've been giving you hints all morning with the bumper music as to what her name is.
I'm an idiot. I've got nothing. I lost to Greg for the news thing, and now I'm sitting here. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, we didn't see this before, but we got a comment on the live stream from Robin Allen saying, "Welcome, Carol, Miss Mama K, but show is great in great hands with this girl, powerhouse, epic. Don't take it personally, Greg." I do not. I am standing by legends.
That's very nice.
Oh, that's very sweet of you.
That's very, very nice.
Another guest came in from the 541. My name guest for the baby, Patsy Bennett Bach Semproni.
No, no. Nothing about no. I had nothing to do with this child.
Patsy. Huh.
Patsy Bennett.
That's a beautiful name, Patsy.
Patsy is a nice name.
Okay.
A lot of people got it right, actually. And if you want to still take a guess, this is just for bragging rights. 844-967-2789, 844-96-PARTY. Kristen is going to be joining us at 11:50 with an update, and that's when we will have her reveal their little girl's name. But everything's good. Everybody's fine. And she shared some pictures with us yesterday, and she genuinely was probably the prettiest pregnant person I have ever seen.
Yeah, she looked pretty
literally
good.
all through her pregnancy. She just looked great.
I looked like I'd been dragged behind a 150.
She recognized that fact too. She said things like, "I realize how much easier the pregnancy for me was, and for a lot of other people." And I don't know why. I'm not gonna speculate. I'm not a doctor,
right?
But yeah, this has been a very interesting process to go through next to someone, watching them go through it.
For sure. Well,
my pregnancies were terrible. I had
were both of them
no,
bad?
both of them were bad. Yeah, both of them were bad. With my son, Liz was actually a pretty easy baby. She would eat and be down for 4 hours, eat down 4 hours, that kind of a thing.
That's great.
Alex, unfortunately, my water broke at 21 weeks, and that landed me in the hospital for 7 weeks before he was born.
Wow.
And then when he cooked as long as he could, and he was like 4 pounds when he came out.
Oh,
and
teeny.
But my problem with Alex was he stopped napping at 9 months.
He just stopped napping.
Just stopped. Nope, not gonna do it. And I would put him in his crib just to try and see if he could calm down a little bit. And that was another little thing about that little stinker too. He's 30 years old now, but he got himself up. He was able to stand really early.
Wow.
So he pulled himself up in his crib, and he would stand and hold onto the railing and just scream and rock. And I would just go. And finally, I ended up, when I would try to lay down on the couch, I'd put him between the crux of my knees so I could feel him if he was moving.
Right.
But he was having none of it. None of it. None.
What when you first got home from the hospital, what was the most challenging thing? Do you remember? I know, but obviously your pregnancies were very different.
Right.
But
I was not a great nurser, if you know what I mean.
I do.
I was not a big producer.
And not everybody is, and
No.
it just doesn't work for everybody.
I will tell you, this is kind of a funny story because he had to stay in the hospital for a month after he was born because
Sure.
he was in the NICU.
Sure.
And I would have to go home and try and produce something. They wanted him to have mother's milk. And I will never forget getting in at St. Joe's. I got in the elevator and there was a woman who is half my size. Half my size. I'm 5'10". And she's got 2 mason jars filled. And I've got like a tablespoon. I never felt like such a failure in all my life.
Oh, that's terrible.
I was just like, I looked over and I go, seriously? She goes, oh, I know, I can't. It just keeps coming.
Oh my goodness.
But that was a challenge for me, and trying to get him to nap. Yeah,
and there's got to be a lot of pressure, and we talked about this some with Kristen about everyone becomes an expert then, right? When you're the new mother and everyone wants to give you their expert advice, and there's all these Facebook groups and all these other groups, and
it's hard.
What do you mean you're not nursing? What do you mean you don't use this kind of stroller? And what do you mean? So it's got to be a lot to navigate, and I can see how you could be made to feel badly in about 97 different ways.
And now it's even worse with all of the, like you said, with all the social media outlets and things like that.
Right.
I didn't have any of that. I had my daughter's 34 and Alex is 30. So,
this was pre all the social media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that was probably, and, just being a new mom can be nerve-wracking.
For sure.
And I wish Kristen the very best, and I'm sure she's going to be a wonderful mom, but I want her to know that there will be challenges that will, like, I remember walking out at the front door and going and sitting on the stoop because I couldn't get Alex to calm down. And I was like, I got to get out of here for a minute.
I'm going to lose my mind.
I'll put him someplace safe where I know he's safe, but I need to go out and get some fresh air. And I remember sitting on the stoop and just crying. I'm like, what am I going to do? How am I going to calm this kid down?
Is it going to be like this for the rest of our lives?
Right. Well, he came around.
In your household, I find that so shocking. He came around. All right. We got the news coming up at the bottom of the hour. When we come back on Milwaukee.com's Matt Miller will be joining us. I'm really excited to talk to him, particularly about this movie called Dumb Money.
My girlfriend saw it. She said it was hilarious.
The trailer is priceless, and I think that's going to be really, really interesting. We'll talk to you about the writer's strike is over, and we'll see, how much longer it's going to take to get the actors back. Stay right here. We will be back right after this. This is As Goes Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Can you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Shari,
Your home of the Earl Ingram Show. Weekday mornings from 8 till 10 on The Shaw. 540 AM and 101.1 FM WAUK.
CBS News special report. The auto workers' strike expands.
Ford and GM have refused to make meaningful progress at the table. That's why at noon Eastern time today, we will expand our strike to these two companies.
United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain says Stellantis is spared from these additional job actions because of progress at the bargaining table. Today's action affecting 7,000 workers at a Ford plant in Chicago and a GM assembly factory near Lansing, Michigan. The two plants make some smaller SUVs.
We're still talking with all three companies, and I'm still very hopeful that we can reach a deal that reflects the incredible sacrifices and contributions our members have made over the last decade. But I also know that what we win at the bargaining table depends on the power we build on the job. It's time to use that power.
The automaker's last known wage offers were around 20% over a 4-year deal. CBS News special report. I'm Steve Kathan.
Civic Media radio stations, providing your news, conversations, and fun you won't find anywhere else.
With news on WAUK The Shaw, I'm Stuart J. Waddles. Elsa's on the Park intends to resume operations tonight, yet there are lingering concerns regarding the shooting incident that led to the bar's closure. According to Milwaukee police, a customer was shot multiple times Wednesday night, and an Elsa's employee was grazed by a bullet fired from outside the restaurant. While police don't believe the shooting was random, they haven't disclosed any information about the motive or potential suspects. An SUV involved in a Waukesha rollover crash this week was transporting drugs, guns, ammunition, body armor, and silencers. Police say 27-year-old Sean Landry was arrested after the crash and faces several gun and drug-related offenses. A witness told police after the crash they saw a crack pipe laying outside of his vehicle. Landry is a convicted felon and prohibited from possessing a firearm. With news on WAUK The Shaw, I'm Stuart J. Waddles.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Wisconsin. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Love your hometown? Don't miss the Devil's Advocates radio show on the road for the very first Fall in Love Hometown Tour 2023.
Oktoberfest in La Crosse, where we went to college, our fine alma mater.
It's true. The tour continues with a stop during Oktoberfest. Mike and Tom broadcasting live from La Crosse Friday, September 29th, starting at 4.
Road trip with the Devil's Advocates Fall in Love Hometown Tour 2023 on your local Civic Media radio station and the app.
It's easy to listen to your favorite local radio station anytime. Download the Civic Media app from the Apple or Google Play Store, then listen live or whenever you want from anywhere for free.
Two fools, you for wanting me for putting you down. Two fools, me for leaving and you for hanging around.
Welcome back to As Goes Wisconsin. Jane Matnair in for new mom, Kristen Bride, joined by my guest host, Carol Kane. Greg Bach is on the board. Kristen's going to be calling in about 20 minutes. And we'll get a little update on everything, and we will do the big reveal of her little girl's name. But right now, very excited to have him back from onmilwaukee.com, the one and only Matt Miller. Hello, Matt. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. I mean, I'd be doing better if that Packer game didn't go the way it did last night. But
that was ugly.
I watched The Golden Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise instead, and honestly, really thought that I made the wiser choice. I did not expect that to be like the good choice.
I forgot that Golden Bachelor was on.
I did too. I completely forgot. Good. Let's start there because I want to hear all the deets about the Golden Bachelor.
It's odd. It's this weird thing of like they're trying to be mature, because I do think the Bachelor franchise ran into trouble where it got so toxic and so ugly. And I think they're trying to get some of that out of the system. And what better way to kind of seem like a more mature version of your reality show than by hiring a bunch of 70 and 60-year-olds to be the stars of it. There is a niceness to it. There's an odd sincerity. It's weird watching these like really fake romance games of like handing out the roses, but done by people who seem genuinely into it and seem sincere and have lived a long enough life to know what this is, and you know that they are not here for the Instagram clout and for the TikTok likes. So it's an odd thing. I'm interested to see where the drama is going to come from. I can't imagine anyone accusing someone else of being there for the wrong reasons and stuff like that. It's like, who here do you think is here for clout on social media? But we'll see. Right now, it's kind of like the Hallmark version of The Bachelor, where it's just all like pleasant vibes. Nothing's really funny. Nothing's really that dramatic, but it's just kind of nice for an hour.
That can't possibly last.
No.
I assume we already had a few contestants who were like, I'm going to get what I want. And I'm like, oh boy, there's going to be a very intense pickleball game coming up one of these weeks.
Pickleball of death.
I'm terrified because normally when they do the sports episode of The Bachelor, someone gets hurt. And like, I don't want to see one of these people get hurt. That's a serious injury for people at that age.
I don't know. The whole, I just hope with the Golden Bachelor that it gets away from bad behavior being rewarded. Because, some of these young girls or these young guys, and all they're in for is just making out and having sex and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, please, can we stop rewarding these people? Well, their bad behavior is bugging the crap out of me.
Yeah, that's the kind of hope with this Golden Bachelor. Like, you have people who have lived lives, who have been married before and have experienced, true, long-lasting love in many cases. Are these people going to regress to reality show formula, or are they going to raise reality show formula up and make a more sincere, a more enjoyable? But also at the same time, is that what you want from The Bachelor? Because I will say I had more fun probably watching Bachelor in Paradise because it was trashier, because it was sillier, because it was watching, people make dumb mistakes and ruin themselves on a beach.
Oh God!
In love, it's this weird thing of like, do you want a more mature The Bachelor? It's an odd situation.
See, and I'm just afraid at some point in the next couple of episodes, one of the women is gonna, oh, Becky, you're just a tramp. I don't want to see that stuff. And I'm curious.
Like, it's fun to watch like 20-year-olds like be catty on reality TV because you're like, okay, you're young. You're like, you're going through life stuff. Seeing 70-year-olds on TV being catty, it's like, have you learned nothing? Have you gained no wisdom across your period of time in life? They should be allowed to have fun and be catty if they want to, but I don't know if I find that very satisfying as a viewer to be like, oh, like, this is unpleasant because you should know better by now.
I'm curious too, Matt, because I have seen pictures of him, the Golden Bachelor, and he's a very fine-looking man who does not
like the Oscar statue. Yeah,
yeah,
he's a very handsome guy. He sounds like he is mid-yawn at all times, but that's fine. He's charming. He is not a problem so far. The people, the women competing on the show are not a problem. Everyone's really nice so far. I'm interested. It was also only an hour long, which is interesting because normally The Bachelorette is 2 hours long.
Oh man.
Yeah, last night I watched 3 hours of Bachelor programming. And let me tell you, brain is leaking out of my ears now.
I was just going to say, you're very, very fluid considering that you had to watch 3 hours worth of The Bachelor.
These are the first complete sentences I've been able to put together.
Are the female contestants all such perfect specimens like he is?
No, I would say it was a kind of nice diversity. It was honestly more diverse than most, Bachelor casts.
Right,
there were people of different sizes, different races. It was nice to see. Now, how long are those people going to last? Because normally when they bring on diversity on The Bachelor, it unfortunately gets whittled down pretty fast. But there have been efforts in recent seasons to create a version of the show that more reflects the world we live in, which is a more diverse show.
Well, now you have me curious about it because I do think
it's
though
not
if they
TV,
I understand, but I think that the fact that they're being nice and reasonable and not horrible people potentially trying to raise the
it's early
the influence of this genre. I just don't see that happening. It's always been reality TV has always been based on rewarding people for bad behavior, and that goes back to Survivor.
Oh, sure.
Win at any cost, cheat, lie, betray people, backstab people. That I think is the kernel of all reality television.
Right.
Right.
It's the backbone of it for sure.
It's win at any cost.
Right.
Well, and then you have the real world, and once a show starts figuring out its villains and its heroes and its archetypes, that's when you start getting, the real kind of odd behavior. And Bachelor really did, like, I mean, it was always, kind of seedy and silly, but it was a few years ago, it got really toxic and really unpleasant. And I think a lot of people were really getting turned off by it and just being like, why do I want it? These people aren't villainous at this point. They're just ugly people. And
why do I want it? Yeah.
Change too. We did go through the kind of Ted Lasso normcoreization of pop culture, which was like, I don't know if I want to see, anti-heroes right now. I would rather see some people who do good things maybe than see people who are actively rewarded for being the worst.
Yeah, I certainly don't want it to devolve into, they start hiding each other's medications and stuff.
Yeah,
it's going bad really quickly.
Where's my Lipitor? Where's my Lipitor?
Who stole my Coumadin?
Again, it's like the Transformers thing of like, oh, there's not a lot of plot. Well, how much plot do you want in a Transformers movie?
Right,
how
right.
serious, how thoughtful do you want a Bachelor franchise to be? It'll be very interesting to see this play out.
Matt Miller is our guest. He's from onmilwaukee.com, talking all things movies and TV and Hollywood. And, well, at least the writer's strike is over. That's good news.
Yes, and it sounds like the Screen Actors Guild and the studios are going to meet up early next week. I imagine things will start rolling downhill pretty fast now, in a good way. Rolling downhill as in like progress, not rolling downhill as in... because now the studios can go to the Screen Actors Guild and be like, here's the deal the writers got. Would you like this as well? Because a lot of their issues were very similar. Concerns about AI, concerns about streaming residuals and being rewarded based on the success of a show beyond its original run. And, hopefully this gets everything back together. Now, there's still a lot to go through here. Even when these strikes are over, we're going to feel the ripples of them, similar to how when the film industry and the TV industry shut down for COVID, we realized a year later, oh, that's right. We went several months without being able to make anything. That pipeline got held up.
Right.
So, come early next year, what does the movie schedule look like? What is the TV schedule going to look like? So luckily, we've got a lot of movies in the can already. We got some TV in the can already, but there is going to be still some ripple effects of this needlessly long strike. Because the studios refused to give what they ended up giving 5 months later.
Exactly, and that was going to be my point too, Matt. Is they accomplished absolutely nothing. The studio executives, all the big money players in Hollywood, they didn't get anything out of this deal. They just kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, this deal is great for the writers. They got pretty much everything they wanted, from the kind of nuanced stuff about writers' rooms to the larger scale issues of AI and streaming. It's a great deal for the writers, and I think the frustration and the residual anger of this strike right now is, well, why did it take so long for us to get here? Why did we have to, why did this have to get dragged out across 5 months? And in the Screen Actors Guild case, I think 2 or 3 months now. Why is this getting dragged out when we have what we want here? It's frustrating that the studios refuse to come to the table, and we're so vindictive and so smug in many regards, especially when the studios are, listen, we have not gotten back to normal film going yet. We have not and streaming has not found a way to become a truly viable way to make money for these studios. And they're deciding to throw this giant wrench into everything. We had Barbenheimer, and then immediately the city shut down.
Yeah.
That's a bad way to get people back into the habit of going into movies and of getting excited about film and about product, this art.
Well, speaking of movies, and I know you haven't had a chance to see them yet, but you shared some of the ones that are upcoming, and I watched the trailer for, is it Dumb Money?
Yes.
It's so funny. It's so profane. I was going to cut a clip of it, and it's like, I'm going to have to edit this so heavily there won't be anything left. But what is the premise of that movie, man?
Yeah, kind of a comedy dramedy, Big Short-esque about the GameStop stock conundrum of a few years ago. It's kind of wild how this stuff gets turned around into movies and TV shows so fast now.
Right.
I remember back in the day when they made the George W. Bush biopic movie, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's too soon." And now that's just standard issue now for biopics and for these true story kind of docudramas. I'm excited for this one. It's a really good cast. You got Seth Rogen, you've got Sebastian Stan. I'm a little concerned because it's the same director of I, Tonya. And I really hated I, Tonya. I think I, Tonya is a very bad movie that is trying to do its best Martin Scorsese impression without understanding why Martin Scorsese does these cinematic things that he does. And that movie doesn't know what it wants to say about Tonya Harding or about anything, or at least things that it doesn't want to literally say into the camera, into your face. It's very smugly because it doesn't think you're a very smart person. So I'm interested to see maybe if he's figured out his Scorsese impression a little bit better now in this new movie. And, I enjoyed The Big Short, and I'm interested to see kind of this. All the reviews about it have been really good. They say it's fun and funny, which I think for this topic, you have to find a way to make people looking at stock options and screens.
For sure.
That's not a cinematic thing. Odd that there's no Oscar buzz around it, which tells me maybe it's not the greatest movie you'll see all year, but I think it'll be the best one you'll see about stock this entire year, I would imagine.
And that's saying something.
Low bar to clear.
Low bar. We've got just a couple of minutes left, Matt. Anything else that you're looking forward to checking out?
I mean, I said his name. I am excited for the new Martin Scorsese movie coming out next month, Killers of the Flower Moon. Early reviews are really good, really strong Oscar buzz. Lily Gladstone sounds like she's going to really pop in this movie. And I'm excited that it seems like a drama for adults is going to do well on the big screen again. There does seem to be a movement of possibly between Oppenheimer and this, maybe movies for adults are back. Or maybe it'll just be comic book movies again in a few months. Who's to know?
Matt Miller from onmilwaukee.com joins us the last Friday of every month. We will see you next month. Matt, thank you so very much. Say hi to your dad for us. And stick around. Coming up next, new mom Kristen is going to join us live. This is As Goes Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Brought to you by the town of Brookfield's third annual Brooktoberfest, September 30th from 11 until 6 at Steffen Soccer. Enjoy live music, local food vendors, best dress competition, wiener dog races, a kids zone, a classic car show, and more. Log on discoverbrookfield.com. Prost. Up North News Radio with Pat Kreitlow.
Aaron comes in every day looking like he just stepped out of a Turkish bathhouse because it's so hot in there. Just to recap, so far this segment has been filled with dog vomit, old men peeing, and Aaron wearing a dish towel. So
your name's on the show.
Up North News Radio with Pat Kreitlow. Weekday mornings 6 till 8 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
Red Delicious, Honey Crisp, Granny Smith. If you have a favorite apple, now is the time to pick it straight from the source. Did you know Wisconsin has more than 300 apple orchards? Travel Wisconsin recently naming its favorites, including the Oneida National Apple Orchard outside Green Bay, Ferguson's Orchards in Eau Claire, and Apple Holler south of Racine. Many provide tons of family fun in the fall, too. Tire swings, lawn bowling, hay rides, and more. Apple experts suggest if you want to pick yours fresh, do it before the end of October. For Civic Media, I'm Terry.
It's never personal, only politics. The Devil's Advocates Radio Show with Dom and Crute. Weekdays from 4 until 6 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
Here's your updated forecast on the Shaw. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon with a high of 72. Southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, 56. Daytime highs approaching 80. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. Clear Clear skies Sunday with highs around 81, 79 Monday. For Civic Media, I'm meteorologist Derek Height. Currently, it's 66 degrees.
Waukesha, home of Les Paul, our awesome farmers market, and the Shaw, 540 AM and 101.1.
I am joined by my good friend, longtime colleague, Carol Kane. Greg Bach is on the board, and that is the official baby music for baby Bryce Sampson because the nursery is all elephants.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Okay.
Her nursery is full of elephantes.
You know what? That was Elizabeth too. She
Was it
had
really?
to have. Oh yeah, she had to. She's crazy about elephants.
Still,
always has been.
All right. Well, this is going to be Mama's future. Wait, what am I going to do? I'm not going to give out the phone number. She knows the
She's
phone
on
number.
the line right now.
Good morning, Kristen Bry.
Hi,
How are you ladies doing?
We're good. How are you, my friend? How is everything?
Everything is pretty good, I have to say. After how many hours was it? It was a trek, but we made it. And but she arrived yesterday at 1:30, and she's 6 pounds and 12 ounces. So she's a peanut, but she's long. She's 19 inches and 19.75.
Wow.
She's a string bean.
We knew she was going to be tall.
Yeah.
We knew she would be long.
No way around that.
You know what, Kristen?
But yeah,
there is absolutely nobody on the face of the earth that can prepare you what labor is going to be like. Nothing. They can tell you, oh, it's painful. It's like, oh no, I compare everything now to labor. Everything. Is it labor?
You still do that?
Always.
So you didn't forget? Because I feel like a lot of friends are like, oh, like once your kid's here, like you forget, and like we would never have another one if you always remembered how much pain the first one was. So you after all this time, you still remember the pain?
I will never forget. I hold it over their heads every day.
Well, we have been having people guess all morning long. We've been giving little hints in the bumper music as to what the little sprite's name is. So, and we got some really funny guesses. We got a couple that were right on the money, and they guessed it in about the first 25 minutes or so.
Yep. Yeah.
Tom
from LA, and then Lynn from Oconomowoc nailed it.
Nailed it. All right. So is this the big reveal?
This is the big reveal.
All right. Her name is Frances Louise Sampson, and we're going to call her Frankie or Frankie Lou.
Very nice.
So
I love it. I just love it. I might still call her Frances, though.
Well, and
that's the point.
Here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen, Kristen. She's going to go to school, and the kids in kindergarten will tell her what her nickname is going to be.
That's true. That's a good point.
Because my Elizabeth was going to be Elizabeth. And the first day of kindergarten, she came home and she said, they're calling me Lizzie, Mom. And I was like, oh, are you kidding? But she's a Lizzie. She's been a Lizzie ever since. That was it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you can't control these things.
Exactly.
You set them up, and then, nicknames emerge out of initials, names, behaviors. You never know.
And I know that you and Mike were kind of holding off for sure on the name until you saw her. So once you saw her, you were like, yeah, Frances Louise is the way we're going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty sold on that name anyways. So it might be a little biased, but she came out and we both were like, yep, that's her.
She's got a head of hair.
She's pretty great.
She's got a head of hair. Boy, does she ever.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was not expecting that because I feel like I was a baldy, but she's got some hair. She's sleeping well. She's nursing well.
Oh, good.
Everything's really good. Yeah.
Good.
So we're pretty happy. The worst thing so far is that 6 weeks after back surgery, the accommodations for Mike, not so great in the hospital.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
that's been a little rough on his back, but we're making do.
You know, I find that so interesting, though, that hospitals where you're supposed to go and rest and recuperate are among the most uncomfortable places on the planet.
Yeah.
And that just seems, kind of diametrically opposed.
Here's a bed that feels like a tiny jail.
Right. And here's the chair of death. Sit down, enjoy, sit for 9 hours,
Enjoy it.
When
with the crying baby.
Yeah.
When
right.
are you coming home, honey?
I'm gonna come home tomorrow.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
So I'll be here today, going home tomorrow, starting to see family. It's gonna come over tomorrow.
Nice.
Debbie's very excited.
I
as you
bet.
can imagine.
I bet.
And so yeah, but I have to say, we're at Aurora Sinai, and the staff here has just been above and beyond. They've been everyone from all the nurses to all the doctors to the lactation specialists. Like, if you can choose where you have your baby, I would highly recommend. This is not a sponsored ad.
Just bring your own chair.
Yeah, exactly.
And how is Mike doing? How is he proud papa? And does she have him
Oh my God.
twisted around her little finger already?
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically. He's done for.
He's doomed.
Yeah, he's a natural. He was as useful as you can be in the position of how could I help during labor? And it's like, just be supportive.
Just do that. Yes. Just do that.
Yeah.
And did he elect to see her arrive?
He did.
He did.
Good.
He did. He got the cord. He saw her arrive. He was not freaked out at all. He did not have to sit down because he got lightheaded. He was a champ.
That's awesome.
That's my Mike. Yeah, baby.
Well, we are all so delighted. Everyone here, Kristen at Civic Media, I posted in the general chat last night that she had arrived, and everybody's so excited and so happy for you and Mike, and we can't wait to meet her.
I know. I can't wait for everyone to meet her. I'm pretty biased, but she does not look like a newborn alien that sometimes newborns can look like. At least I don't think she does. But like I said, I may be biased, but she's pretty cute.
She is pretty cute. You shared a text picture with us this morning. She does not look like Don Knotts at all.
No, she's adorable.
She is. She's a little sweet bean.
You should be very, very proud. And I'm glad you made it through unscathed, if you will.
Yes, I would say highly recommend epidurals. They make a big difference.
Yes, that's what
condolences to everyone who had to give a baby before or had to give birth before epidurals were a thing. And so
we had a long talk with
takeaway.
Yeah, we had a long talk with Dr. Lyerly about that and the importance and the benefits of epidurals. Thank goodness, right?
Yeah, truly.
Well, we love you. Welcome to the world, baby, Frankie.
Congratulations,
little Francis Louise.
Oh, Jade is so excited right now.
I am. I really am.
I can't wait for you guys to meet her and hold her. She's
Yeah.
pretty sweet. But thanks for taking care of the show. You guys have been sounding great all week.
Thank you very much, Kristen. We love you.
We love you. Take care. We will talk soon. Stick around for the news and then followed by Town Call. Thank you so much for joining us, texting, calling, listening, everything. This is As Goes Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network.